You're listening to All That with Nikkie and Cat,
a podcast featuring real stories from real people who are real relatable.
Our goal is to bring you entertainment, knowledge, and an inside look on topics in line with health, wellness, and personal growth.
Tune in every Tuesday to join us on our journey. Let's get real. Guess who's back? Back again. Nikkie's back. Tell a friend.
Honestly, though, I'm really glad that you're back. What the fuck?
I know.
You abandoned me for a whole week.
In the beginning of the trip, it literally felt like we had been there for so long, and then it went kind of fast towards the end. But I literally felt like I've been gone forever.
Yeah, same. So, you've heard us talk about it before. So, Nikki and I work together, and then we do the podcast together. And then, we're still, friends and stuff.
Still hang out.
Yeah, so, I fucking see this bitch every day. So, to go from, seeing her every single day, I don't know, to not seeing her for how long? It's been, 10 days.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So, 10 days since I've seen this bitch. So, Welcome back, bitch.
Thanks.
So, I'm glad that your vacation went well. I love seeing the pictures. That Disney picture was cute AF.
No, thanks.
I loved it. All right, y'all. So today, this is episode 10.
Yes.
So we've reached the double digits. I feel like we've been doing this forever.
Yeah, it literally
but I guess,
feels that way.
Yeah, it's not that long. It's only 10 episodes. But so thanks again for hanging out with us and just riding through these waves with us. Because we're 10 episodes deep now, so you're stuck with us.
Yeah.
We hope you're hooked. We hope you're enjoying everything as much as we are. Because it's definitely been a roller coaster, but a super cool roller coaster.
Agreed. I agree.
This week we had Miss Sue Krinke. She is a psychic medium. So to her, they are one and the same. So we'll always use that term when describing her. So Sue Krinke, a psychic medium, who had her first supernatural experience at the age of 4.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, the story that she told us, completely blew my mind. So not only did we get to pick her brain on spirituality and tarot and just your spirit guides, just spirituality as a whole. Not only did we get to pick her brain on that, but she gave us each a tarot reading. She gave us each a card reading, and I got a bonus palm reading because I was being so nosy. So I asked her about questions about palm readings. She's like, just give me your hands. So I got a little bonus palm reading, so that was extra exciting. And I couldn't ask for more. This was so cool to me. I really enjoyed this episode. Nikki and I talked in the episode again, how we're just kind of getting our toes wet with spirituality. We know how we feel inside, and that may be a little more advanced, but putting it into words and actually understanding it, I feel we're just at the tip of the iceberg. So it was super cool to have someone that's totally been there and had so much experience and knowledge on it.
Yeah.
It was super cool.
I agree. And I feel like both of our readings were pretty accurate.
Can we talk about the fucking readings? Because Nikki's got real.
Yeah, it did.
Nikki's got real. So we have that included in the episode for you guys. You guys actually get to experience both of our readings with us. So I went first, then Nikki went. She was just dead on. And like I explained to her, I don't always give people so much to go on just because I get a little bit nervous myself. So for her to be able to still see and figure things out with my energy and stuff like that, considering my own nervousness when it comes to experiences like that, really showed her profession, I guess, to me.
Right.
Her gift, talent, whatever you want to call it. So it was a really great experience. I was super pumped. It brought me to tears. It brought Nikki to actual tears. And she was just really just down to earth, relatable, just I want you to be comfortable with what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So I feel like she was very responsive to that and going off our energies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like that too. She wasn't just this is it. This is what's going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like she cared.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
She cared. She didn't want to say anything that was like too harsh.
Right.
Or whichever, but she would still say what she needed to say.
Exactly.
She just knew exactly how to word it to you, which again showed how good she is at what she does.
Yeah.
So she was super cool. It's Sue Krinke with an E, SueKrinke, and that's at facebook.com. So if you just search her name on Facebook, you'll be able to find her. You can book her there, make appointments. She does individual and group sessions, so that I thought was super cool.
I definitely, like, I knew she did individual, but I had no idea she did group, and I think that that's awesome.
Maybe it'll be my next year's birthday, y'all. Watch out. So so that was really cool. So let's get right into perks and peeves. So what are your perks and peeves of the week?
My peeve of the week would probably be the weather that was in Florida when we were there.
That's a peeve?
Peeve, yes, because I think I've talked about it before, and pretty much everyone that knows me knows that I'm not a summer person. I don't care much for summer. Like, I like the activities and things like that, barbecuing, camping. I do like that kind of stuff, but I don't know. It's way, way, way too hot. And in Florida, it literally felt, there was some days where I literally felt like I was dying. Like, I was just
actually dying.
Yeah, it was so hot. And like the humidity on top of that. I think one day it said it was like 96, but the feel like temperature was over 100.
Yeah.
It was insane.
She had that boob sweat.
Oh my God.
On deck.
It was the worst. Which brings me to my perk, which is coming home to like this nice, crisp, cool weather. And I've always been like a fall person, so it was very fall-like when we came home, and it was amazing. I was like, oh.
It's been super fall-like, and I'm digging it. I'm a summer gal. You guys know that. I hang on to summer. Like, I just clinch onto it because I know fall goes so quick, and then it's my least favorite time of the year. I hate winter.
See, I don't mind winter. Like, I don't mind. The only thing I mind is driving in the snow. Like, I don't care to drive in the snow.
I don't even care about driving in it, I'll be honest.
I don't mind the cold. Like, I don't mind it at all. I don't know, I kind of don't like it after Christmas, because during Christmas I love it.
Me too. Like, snow all you want from December 1st until January 2nd, and then stop. But that's when it all starts.
Yeah, that's true.
The seasons need realigned. I don't know if that's a thing, and I could be sounding dumb as fuck, but the seasons do need to be realigned because they don't start and end when they're supposed to anymore. Like, when's the last time this shit's been updated? Because global warming, hello.
Yeah.
Stuff's not lined up anymore.
Yeah. I was going to say global warming has a lot to do with why the seasons are the way they are.
Yeah, it's crazy. They just, you know what I mean? Like, your stereotypical, like, fall is happening, like, at the wrong time, and your stereotypical summer is happening at the wrong time.
Yeah,
spring,
I thought it was
winter,
crazy.
Like, everything needs to be shifted. I think you need to readjust.
Right. I thought it was crazy that it felt so fall like, and hot. And August is supposed to be the hottest month of the summer. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah.
But that would definitely be my perk.
You know what August brings?
Fall.
Great ass watermelons. That's what August brings.
Yeah.
I have been mowing some watermelons
I don't
lately.
really care
it's the
for
best time. What the fuck?
I
What's wrong with you?
It's like you're eating water.
Right.
And I know it's watermelon, but like it has no taste.
It does too. A good one.
Maybe
an
I've
August
just
one.
always had bad watermelon.
Yeah, you gotta have an August one.
Oh, maybe.
August or September.
I don't know. I would choose that over other fruit, but I don't know. I don't care for it though.
Well, my peeve, I'm going to start with my peeve too. We'll just get the negative stuff out of the way.
Right.
So my peeve is definitely that I had a bright idea to make a 7 a.m. dentist appointment on my day off. So
yeah,
I'm just sitting here like, why am I so tired? Oh, because the only day that you had to sleep in, you fucking made a dentist appointment for 7 a.m.
Yeah, it's a little
So
silly.
guess whose alarm clock went off at 6? That'd be me. Nick was like, we don't even gotta go. Let's just go back to bed. I was like, get your ass up. When's the last time you've been to the dentist? So we went. It was the dentist. So, whatever.
See, I definitely wouldn't have made it that early, but I don't mind the dentist.
Well, I was like, what do you got? Yeah, I know, you're a fucking weirdo like that.
I like the dentist. I love, like, Chris's favorite, or his worst, or his least favorite, I should say, is when they, like chip at your
like scrape
teeth
your
and,
fucking
like, scrape
teeth.
your teeth. He cringes even the thought of that. That's, like, my favorite part.
Ugh.
I love that.
Gross.
And they feel so
No,
good.
dude, my gums, I feel so attacked right now. My gums feel so sore. They're just prodding me all morning.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
And they're like, it's bleeding. I'm like, no fucking shit.
Yeah, your mouth is obviously going to feel sore because they were picking at it, but I don't know, it just feels so good. It's like a good, like I don't even know how to describe it.
I guess they like polish my teeth or some shit.
Yeah.
I told the lady, she was like, what are you interested in most with your dental hygiene? I was like, whitening. So you know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
And she was like, your teeth look pretty white. And I was like, they don't look like yours. The fuck? Her teeth were like glowing. I was like, do you think that some people's teeth just can't get any whiter? And she's like, well, it depends. Like, it could be stained like deep within the tooth. And I was like, okay, how do we fix that?
Right.
Well, It's like, oh, cool. Thanks. I'm hopeless. So I guess I'm going to have semi-white teeth for the rest of forever. Cause
your teeth are pretty white, though.
It's just the way it is. Anyways, all right. So I'll stop complaining. I got up. I did what I had to do. My teeth are sore. But
you were a responsible adult.
Oh, I adulted today. It was great.
You did.
I had to fill out mine and Nick's paperwork while he pooped.
Oh, my God.
I, like, extra adulted because it was, like, I had a kid. He was sending me selfies and stuff while we're sitting in the chair.
Oh, my God.
He's ridiculous. He is a ridiculous human. But I love him. Anyways, so on to my perk of the week. So this weekend we kind of got away for a little bit, just for like a night. But Nick's mom and his stepdad have a house up north in Gladwin, and it's literally like it's 2.5 hours away, which I mean is forever away, but not as forever away as it feels.
Right.
So I mean, you've been there.
Yeah.
Like it's just a whole different world up there. Like you can see every single star. Like you're not breathing in the smog of where we live when we're so near the city. So it was really nice to get up there and go away, which inspired my like actual perk is I'm setting up a trip. So I want as many people as that can to go up there and just hang out at their house in September. So I'm super pumped for that. I think that that'll be a really good like fall kickoff, nice little like camping / not camping because there's a house kind of getaway. So hopefully you and Chris can tag along because I think that'll be really fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's definitely my perk of the week. Again, guys, it's episode 10 with Miss Sue Krinke, our psychic medium. She was amazing. Again, contact her on Facebook, SueKrinke. That's at Facebook. Check out all of her different offerings that she does. She does individual and group sessions. She teaches classes. She does it all. Yeah. So it's your one-stop shop for all things spirituality. So check her out. We hope you guys enjoy this episode. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yes.
And it's episode 10 with Miss Sue Krinke. Enjoy, guys.
All right, Miss Cat, I need some of your energy going through my cards. So you're going to shuffle them up any way you like, as long as you want. When you're done, if you want to cut them, go ahead. If not, just leave them be. While you're shuffling, think about what's going on in your life right now, what you might want to talk about.
These are much larger than regular cards.
Everyone says that. There's a lot of them, too.
All right. I think I'm good.
Okay, So the way I do this, these are pretty pictures for me to kind of keep my concentration and help me focus on what I'm hearing in my head, which I'll be honest with you is kind of weird with this on, but we're gonna go with it anyway.
Right.
It shows me right now that you're at a happy spot in your life. You finally feel like you're making connections, setting down the groundwork of where you need to go, what you need to do, and it shows me that you're ready to take some risks to get into what you want to do, and you're putting a lot of your energy and your enthusiasm. It's basically kind of saying here you're pushing everything into what's next. Where am I going next? What's happening next? Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. What's coming in to guide and help you here is this go, go, go kind of attitude. Your energy is really high lately, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hard to sleep, hard to focus. I don't want to say hard to focus, hard to bring yourself down.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, that's what's coming in to guide and help you. So use this energy for your benefit while you still have it, kind of thing. And I don't mean you're going to lose it, but if you don't use it, you will. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Okay. What comes in to make things difficult for you is that there are roadblocks, and it does show me that you've got to open certain paths or you have to make certain things happen, which falls along the line of here where you're ready to take some risks and you're ready to move forward, and you know it's going to be kind of iffy, you're kind of chancy. And it shows me, too, that it's breaking down some barriers, and that comes in as a fear because, duh, we're human, and that's difficult to cross these kind of barriers. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. What you're facing now, and when you were shuffling or when I was laying down the cards, it did kind of indicate that you got two different projects that you're working on right now that are taking a lot of your attention or a lot of your focus.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could group it into.
And that's kind of where they're showing me here.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like you need to choose, although you kind of feel that way now.
I gotcha.
Okay. I knew that was going to happen.
We're good. All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It feels like
for
you
sure.
gotta kind of choose here.
Mhm.
Your energy pattern is very going in both of these directions. So whatever is coming in, your intuition is very high. Whatever idea is kind of definitely, don't leave anything on the floor. Is basically what it's saying. Explore all areas. Explore all options. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. It kind of feels like you're coming in tune as well with like certain relationships and the way things are developing and how you want things to go versus how they are going. And relationships are relationships. Okay?
Yes.
You can pinpoint in your head, or you can connect this with where you want to connect with it. And again, it's that you don't need to make a choice at this particular moment in time. Does that make sense? It's not like you're choosing between people. It's almost like you're choosing between sides.
Okay.
Does that help clear it up a little bit more for you?
No, I'm trying to think.
All right, hang on. We'll get in there because it's like it's coming up. It's something that you kind of feel maybe brewing, and I almost maybe feel like this is like a reliance or a dependence that you may have felt in the past that almost habit. And I don't know if it's their reliance on you or your reliance on them, but it just feels like it's something that you're going to be exploring in your mind soon, because it's one of those things that doesn't really fit in with all of this positiveness that's going on over here. Does that help it anymore? Does that help clear it up any?
It might.
All right.
My brain's rolling.
Okay, I'm feeling some
wheels are
drama,
rolling.
I think, basically, is what this feels like.
Yeah. Then that identifies as present.
That's more of what's to come
Hmm.
as things kind of roll on here.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Doesn't feel negative, just feels like it's a choice. It could involve making some investments. It could involve investing in yourself
Okay.
versus what people are saying. I'm going to hit that 50 times. Versus what
I'll back
people
it
are
up for you.
saying versus what you think you should do or what you're being told versus what you feel is right.
Okay.
That kind of falls into this breaking barriers, I think, for me. Probably one of the aspects you might face. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Financially, all right, I'm going to tell you something about how I do readings. There's certain things that don't pop up. This is all about your work. Were you thinking about work when you shuffled?
I hope not, but I feel like something in the back of my head is always thinking about some type of work.
Okay, because
Be it
that's
a
the
podcast or actual work, one way or the other.
career where I'm going, that
Okay.
kind of things. That's where
Yeah.
this felt
100%.
like it focused to me.
That's definitely where I'm at in life right now. Is
Okay.
what can I do to support my family and not clock in every day.
You got two different things that
Yeah.
are pulling in your direction, and you definitely don't have to choose over them. You have to put as much focus into both of them.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what I'm telling you about my readings is there's a couple things here. Financially, you've already learned in your head. Spiritually, what you need is coming to you. You need to remember that. So don't bring that fear aspect into any of this.
Okay.
It'll make things a little bit more difficult.
Probably,
You
yeah.
have to deal with that as well, too. So you already learned what you need. Whatever you need, you got the support, you got the family, you got the direction that will help you through. So I don't see any financial problems here. Okay, we all struggle, we all want more. All right, so that tells me at this point there's not a lot of changes that are happening because we're still creating the path to get there. Okay, it also doesn't say a whole lot about relationships in general, like your love, that kind of thing, because it shows me you're in a happy spot right there. So there's not a whole lot we need to talk about in that area because it doesn't need fix.
Yeah, that's the only other reading that I had. She kind of said the same thing. Like, she was like, because I was kind of concerned. I was like, well, like, my husband didn't come up at all. And she was like, well, why would we need to talk about him? So
Yeah, if there's no issues, we don't need to fix it.
So I thought that was kind of cool. He's cool. I'll keep him, I guess.
So that's what stands out to me. Did I pick up on generally what's going on in your life right now?
Yeah, I feel like career changes, and then still like wondering like what else is out there, what I can do, stuff like that. That's like a huge point in my life right now. Huge. It's part of the reason why we started the podcast. So we're like, we got to do something for us. We do so much for everyone else.
I do see you putting some kind of investment in yourself, and probably I'm going to say probably around the beginning of the year.
Of next year?
Like around holidays. Kind of feels like it's the beginning kind of time frame.
I'm cool with it.
You already have a slight idea of where this investment might come in at. It's a really good prospect. It does require you to do a lot of reevaluation of where your time and your energy goes.
Okay.
Are you thinking about school?
I have been. Yeah, I've been talking to financial aid officers and
'Cause that's
stuff,
what
trying to
that
get
sounds
myself
like.
back on track.
Reevaluate your life and how you spend your time. That sounds just like school to me.
Yeah. And school's definitely an investment, I guess.
It's definitely the most positive way to look at it.
Yeah.
Because it's very time consuming.
Very expensive.
Kind of feels like yours would pay off rather quickly, though.
Because I'm almost done.
Yeah, yours will pay off rather quickly. What I do. Makes sense.
Yeah, I've got 20 credits left and I quit. Who does that?
I'm going to say now take care of it while you're young. It's a lot easier. You blend in the class a whole lot
Yeah, I
better.
know. I already feel like I'm going to be like that old person in class that's super eager to learn. And I'm still in my 20s. Barely, but
a
still.
lot easier. That's what this feels like. I'm
Yeah.
not going to make the decision for you. I'm just going to say it. It's a lot easier to do it when you're young. A lot more energy and focus to go to it.
Yeah, for sure.
What other questions do you have?
So we already kind of said that risks that I would take would pan out, because I guess that's my biggest question would be. And I don't know, I just want to make sure that there's not a reward per se, but just like a haven at the end of this self journey. Because, man, it's not always easy. Like, it's really hard. I know, don't laugh at me.
I'm laughing with you. I'm laughing with you. Well, I'm going to say it like this. I think along the way you're going to pick and choose exactly what it is you're ready to take your risks in, okay? I think a lot of what this is saying to me is that you're really hard on yourself and you don't really look at mistakes as lessons. You look at them as mistakes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to switch that thought pattern around a little bit and look at them as lessons, because lessons are something you learn from. They're only mistakes if you keep repeating the same thing. Okay, so at this point, that's kind of where it's going here, and I think that might be where it's tying into that. Watch what other people's influence. Definitely saying here, pay attention to your own self. All right, watch where that thought pattern is going. Watch how difficult, how hard you are on yourself. You let a lot of other things slide with other people that you don't with yourself. So that's where it's coming up with that. I do feel like moving into something that's more of an investment in you is where I feel like this is going. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy because, quite frankly, I know how difficult it is, okay? And I know how hard you are on yourself. And that's where I'm pulling all three of these in that are more uglier cards, if you will. Okay? And putting them all together, it kind of makes me feel here that this is just a process on how you are with yourself, not necessarily on what's actually physically going to manifest. Okay? So watch what you are manifesting. The more worry and concern you put towards something, the more you're bringing it closer anyways, because it's just energy.
You're right.
Okay. So, you know, that reward, that haven at the end, you're hard on yourself. So there's always going to be one more thing. So contentment is part of your motivation in this.
It is. That's all I want in life is to just be content.
It's part of your motivation. But it's harder for you to kind of calm down and accept it when it comes.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't.
Hey, knowing is half the battle.
Yeah.
Knowing's half the battle. Recognizing it when it happens, oh man, not beating yourself up for it, but then just stopping. And I always suggest, you know, going to think of something that makes you smile or give yourself some credit where credit is due, what you have accomplished, that kind of thing. It takes a minute, but you can retrain your brain.
I will definitely try. All right.
Do you have 2 kids?
I have no kids.
You have 2 animals? Well, yeah, you have
I have,
2 dogs.
yeah, well, yeah, I do. Yep. Abby's 13 and Sam is 9, so they've been with me for a while.
They're kids. Mm-hmm.
Yep. They definitely are, actually. Like, yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot lately, too. So.
Kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well.
It's actually, I told him, I was like, all right, so I'm ready to quit my job, get pregnant, and go back to school now, whenever you're ready. So.
They're telling me too.
Okay.
So.
I'm cool with that.
All right.
I'm cool with 2 kiddos.
All right, ready, Miss Nikkie?
I am.
All right, same thing with you. I need some of your energy going through.
I'm
my
really
cards.
bad at shuffling.
You know what? And again, you're not the first to say that. They end up where they're supposed to. And plus, I make it look so easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing this for 17 years now. Every day.
Your hands are made for tarot.
You
All right.
My hands know how to do this. All right. So I need some of your energy going through my cards. You can shuffle them up any way you like, as long as you want. When you're done, if you want to cut them, go ahead. If not, just leave them be. While you're shuffling, think about what's going on in your life right now, what you might want to talk about.
Okay. Ooh, these are bigger than normal.
She's got little dinky hands, too.
I do. Doesn't help. Whoop.
Which one you want to talk?
That one.
A little bit stressed out.
Yes.
There's a lot of stress. Honestly, what comes in to guide and help you? Things ending. Okay? Wrapping things up doesn't always have to be negative, but wrapping things up, loosening up loose ends, or tying up loose ends, just being over it in general is kind of what's coming in to help and guide you. And to be honest with you, it feels like a very positive thing. So don't let the negativity of that get in the way of the positive. Okay. Can you already place that? Do you know? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What comes in to make things difficult for you? You're way more independent than you give yourself credit for, and there's a little bit of fear that's associated with that.
Yes, I agree with that.
It shows me here that there's definitely things that are changing in your life and how you feel and how you think, which really, and I should know this because I've known you a long time, but makes me think that you're like, what are you, like 28, 29, somewhere in there? Yeah. Okay, because you fall right into my statistic of what we do at certain times of our life, and where you're at right now is reevaluating everything around you, and some of it has got to go. Okay?
That makes sense.
All right? You really do fall into that statistic. Late 20s, early 30s. People have a tendency to really reevaluate their career, reevaluate their relationships, reevaluate their friendships, where they live. And it feels like you're in all of that. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. It kind of feels here too that you're ready to expand yourself, expand your horizons, but you're kind of like just there.
Yes,
sense?
yes.
Like, I got this great big giant thought bubble, and it's like empty. Does that make sense to you?
No, it does.
Okay.
It does.
And what they're saying is here is that you are like a sponge too, and there is some knowledge that you need to absorb. Now, I'm not really necessarily seeing like you. I saw with more book, school, college, that kind of thing. You, I don't particularly see it like that, but I do see it as like a learning process and learning some sort of specific technique. Does this make sense?
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about here? Yeah, do it. You keep putting it off or something?
Yeah,
do it.
Yeah.
Okay, does this make sense?
No, it does.
It does. Honestly, I hate to say it like this and be just this exuberant, but I feel like it'll be life-changing. Okay, I feel like it's going to open up some doors and change some things that you weren't really expecting or anticipating or knew that they were in the background waiting.
Right.
You're still on that kind of what you already know.
Right. I think a lot of it has to do with fear of change. Yeah.
And it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely saying, like life-changing isn't scary. Okay, of course it is. But then you got to come in and remember here what's coming in to make things difficult for you is that you're way more independent than you give yourself credit for.
Yeah.
Were you an only child or something?
I wasn't. No.
I don't think
in a sense, though, because when I was born, my older sister actually went to go live with my grandparents, so I was an only child for a while.
For a while, because there is that kind of introvert that I feel here too. That's kind of changing about you as well. She's changing. She's not quite as introverted anymore. All right. I'm also going to say here, I feel a strong spirituality around you too. Have you been exploring that a lot lately?
Yes.
They recommend doing like a inner child meditation, going back to like adolescence, teen, mid-teen is where they want to go with you. Does this make sense for specific time frames on different things?
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to pull off any scabs today, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they want you to go, you're doing spiritual meditation, so go back and just hang out with that teen, hug that teen, let her know that you're there and that it's all good, look at us now.
Right.
Kind of aspects.
Okay.
It's very healing, and I'm getting chills, so that tells me that it's going to be something that's very profound for you as well. It shows me in order to get this stability that you want right now, that really sticking to the decisions that you're making right now is really the avenue to go. And I'm not saying that that's difficult for you. Oh, and I gotta say it. You're a little bit of a pushover sometimes, so it's a little easy for others to kind of get their way in.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, a lot.
So at this particular moment, they show me that that's probably part of your personality or part of yourself that you should be examining. No more of where you've been or what you coulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda kind of aspects, but really paying more attention to the way you want things to be. Okay. It does kind of feel here to me that some of these endings aren't going to be as fun. All right, I think you know where I'm going with some of that.
Yeah.
All right, and because it shows me here that there's a good, like, a lot of pros and cons that I'm weighing out with this particular aspect. The important thing is to remember here that we're gaining more than we're losing.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. On a side note, and this doesn't necessarily feel like it's you, maybe it's you, I'm not sure. Is there someone with a health issue around you? Who is this? I'm sorry. I was trying not to do that today.
She's having a rough day anyways.
Okay.
She's just a trooper.
I'm sorry, love. It's Mel.
It's my grandma.
Your grandma. Is she very outspoken? Hard time moving, mobility. Were you close with your grandpa? I already said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Were you close with your grandpa? Okay. I think that's the male that I'm picking up on. Did he have a heart attack?
I don't necessarily think it was that, but he had like heart
issues.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm hard to breathe, losing a little bit of sensation, that kind of thing. So that's the spirit that I'm picking up on. So, first of all, I'm not predicting death. I want to start out by saying I don't do that, but it's a duh. We all experience that, so I want to give you a different perspective on that term. So because, I mean, I sound cold, but it happens.
Right.
Okay,
right.
I want you to have a different perspective of this when it happens, and the way I look at death is we've got these shells. It's the body. It's really what dies. We have our personalities. That's our spirit. That's how we remember each other. That's what I pick up on. And we have our souls. That's what makes us breathe while we're on this planet.
Right.
And when the body dies, the soul and the spirit come to terms, if you will, with the life lessons that we were supposed to learn on this planet. And when we're good with that, the spirit gets to stay on with us, and the soul moves into whatever its next purpose is in life. And the feeling I get with Grandma is that she's had a long fight, and I feel like she's getting tired. So I do feel like there's parts of her that are ready for this transition, but I also feel like she's the glue that holds everything together, and she's like the stitch, and if the whole thing's gonna fall apart. There's part of me that really wants to tell her it's okay to go. And I hate saying that because that sounds really cold and bitter, but I want you to be okay with it too. Because and it's not just you, but I feel like it's something that she needs to hear, and I feel like it's something that you were close enough to her that she could accept it. Does that make sense? She lives in Vision.
I mean, she wears glasses, so I mean, not like in that sense.
Okay.
I guess.
Well, I don't. My vision is very blurry when I pick up on this energy. So maybe that's a sign for you to know when to be prepared.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. I swore I wasn't going to do that.
Oh.
Okay. So that's what sticks out to me. Did I pick up on basically what's going on in your life right now? What you want to talk about?
Yeah.
What other questions do you have? What else do you want to know?
I guess kind of similar to what Cat, because I know, like, I wouldn't say like there was a lot of negative, but like, is there like a happy happy, like, ending through all this?
Will it help if I say it gets easier?
Yeah.
I do feel like you're going through the worst of it right now. I'll say that. So it can only get better from here.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
A lot of it is how we keep it. I think that's why it's saying with your meditation. And does that make sense with you, though? I feel like
it helps. It helps a lot.
I feel like that's a pinpoint moment that could help this transformation.
Yeah. It helps when I do it.
Are you thinking about moving too?
I've thought about it before. Yeah.
Well, I think what I want, because I don't see it right here, I just see it as a thought. So what I think I want to say about that is that it's a strong enough desire within you that I don't want you to forget about it.
Okay.
I don't want it to be like tomorrow's goal.
Right.
But have it as like, future kind of thing to look forward to, because I think that's important with you, is that you need future dates to look forward to and to anticipate. So we're not sitting here anticipating the worst before it shows up.
Mm-hmm. Right. That makes sense.
Very cool. I feel like we both kind of have to stay in the present and not in the future. I feel like that's what helps. That's what helps me. I feel like I live too much in the future.
That's honestly a general life lesson, is how to stay in the now and how not to.
Yeah, it's like a practice for me. I have to practice it.
Absolutely.
100%.
And then we get caught up in the anxiety part of it, and then when things do calm down, it's hard to stay in the calm part because your body's so used to being anxious about something, you'll go find it.
Right.
Psychologically, you'll just go find it.
Right.
100%. All right. You ready to tell us a little bit about yourself? How are you feeling? Are you feeling okay?
Did I do okay, though?
No, yeah, you did really good.
Your reading was good?
Yes.
So I go on pure emotion.
Yeah. No, you did really good.
Yeah.
It's so crazy how accurate they are. Yeah.
So, Miss Sue, if you could just introduce yourself, you can be as vague or intricate as you'd like, and we'll kind of go from there.
Okay, well, my name is Sue Krinke. Where do I go from there?
All right, I got your back. So you would refer to yourself as a psychic?
Actually, I'm glad you started out with that question, because I hate titles.
Okay.
And to me, they're all the same. Psychic, medium, what are the other ones? There's a few.
Okay, I know on your website you refer to it as spiritual advising.
I do, because I do this, but I also did get a degree in psychology. So I take what I use in my psych classes and I apply them to a lot of the situations that I feel.
Yeah.
And that's where I get some of the, you should maybe try this, or you should try that, or this is what's going on. And
For sure, like a triple threat. So, so when we say spiritual advisor, you advise what they should do with their spirits, or you're doing what, like the spirits are, you're doing what they're advising you to communicate, or what does that mean?
When I do this, the way I connect is I'm very comfortable and fluent with my guides.
Okay.
And I believe we all have a certain set of guides that come to us with their energy when we need particular help or guidance with what their expertise is in. Mm-hmm. So my guides connect with your guides tell my guides, and my guides tell me. That's
so it's like a chain.
That's how I see things going on. And as far as, like, once in a while I might get like a picture in my head. It's very rare. That was more when I was younger. Sometimes it might be I might be drawn to something.
So how old were you when you first felt?
The first thing I remember was my daddy was sick and he had leukemia, and I knew he was passing. But when we were at the hospital and I got rushed home and I was downstairs playing with my toys, and there he was with all his hair back, and I was like, "Oh, your hair is back." And he was like, "Yeah, I feel better now, but I gotta go." And that's all I really remember from that conversation. But I remember when my mom came home to tell me about it, and I was like, "Oh, he's all good. His hair is all back. He feels much better now. He's gotta go."
That's crazy.
I went to Catholic school after that. It jumps.
That's so crazy.
That was like the only time I remember being so open with it.
Okay, so you went to Catholic school by choice because of
No,
the
they
spirit?
sent me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, they
That
sent
was
me.
all right. No, I wasn't sure if it was a like, okay, mom thinks
No,
that
I mean,
you
I was
like
4.
need Jesus, or
And I was 4.
oh my God,
Oh,
wow. So
wow.
you were really young.
Yeah, I was young. I was 4. So
Okay.
I mean, I understood
Right.
when he said I gotta go. I got it. I understood what was going on.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
you said in both of our readings that we're kind of like sponges, and that's totally true, especially in the spirituality realm. I feel like Nikki and I are like, we're coming to terms with who we are as people, but I feel like we've kind of just opened the can, so to speak, of like the spirituality realm. So that was why we were super pumped, because I feel like, I mean, this is what you were born to do, so who better to get advice from? You know.
Thank you. I like to look at it as we're all very spiritual. It's kind of, we could all do what I do. It's just a matter of putting your attention and your commitment to it, just like going to school to learn anything else. I took my time to learn this, to learn to connect with my guides. The biggest one was being confident with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Reading professionally, you get to say some crazy things to people, and
What, like-
I don't even remember half of what I say. Like, I already don't remember what we talked about.
Gotcha. It's
It
more
comes
feelings.
in.
Oh,
it goes
okay.
out.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
get to hold all
Wow.
of that. Sometimes now things stick out,
Right. Right.
or certain people stick out, but
So
kind of, it goes to you and out of me.
on the note of everyone can learn, you teach tarot?
I do teach tarot.
Okay, I just noticed, like, I stalked your Facebook, so so I noticed that you have like beginner, advanced, like what would you?
Well, because I taught the class a couple times and I've learned how to tweak it along
Okay.
the way, and to really, because I teach the way I read. It's not, well, this card means particular, 9 of Cups, this card means this.
Right.
I
Okay.
kind of, the way I teach it, well, it means that, but before I tell you what it means, I want you to look at this card and tell me what you
it means,
think,
yeah.
what you're into.
Right.
Because my classes more teach the intuitive side of things than reading cards, because I get readings with people and they're, what does that mean? And I'm like, I don't know.
Were there like specific cards that came up during? Now I don't know. Do you remember like what cards came up during our reading? Yeah.
I'll answer a question about cards. No, I'm sorry, I feel rude saying it like that.
No, yeah.
Like this. So these cards with the numbers on them, those are called the minor arcana. And then there's these cards with the Roman numerals on them, and those are the major arcana.
Okay.
So the way I read the major arcana, and there's like 28 of these. 22. I should know that. They represent more of your life lessons. The minor arcana, which is just like a card deck, it's got the 4 suits, the king, queen, page, knight, that kind of thing. And to me, they more represent the people and the little details, or the details that you're going through in your life right now.
Okay.
So these larger cards, these more prominent cards, if you will, they kind of mean more of an intensity.
Okay.
Things are more intense, and these are more just your little details. And most people pay attention to these than they do what's
really
going.
happening?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that. For sure. So we talked about cards, but you do readings in other ways aside from cards?
I've done readings a lot of different ways. So a group spirit session, when we do those, and I've been doing those for a very long time.
Yes, that was one of the things I wanted to talk to you
I've been
about.
doing those for a very long time, and I've learned to tweak them too. My favorite way to do those are around a large dining room table.
Okay.
Where we're all just sitting, chilling. Everybody's most relaxed. I don't know if I feel that way because that's kind of how I grew up, with that large family gathering kind of thing. Or we can sit in like a living room on everybody's couch, but that has a tendency, everybody looks at me like this then.
Where the table everyone sits like this.
Yeah, everybody's more relaxed, more
Right.
focused, that they can have their drinks, you can snacks, whatever. But that's what I prefer. And when we do that, I start out with like a little mini meditation for everyone, just to kind of help get us all on the same wavelength. Most of the time, and I've learned this, I'm picking up on everybody else being nervous, and it's not really me.
Okay.
So you might channel that and
it kind of comes, puts us all on the same level for a minute, and then I work harder on where the energy is coming from to be able to tell if that's Uncle Joe or Aunt Sally.
Gotcha.
Kind of aspects, and I try to focus more on that, and I get more of like individual lesson or individual messages, either from your past loved ones or from your spirit guides for each individual person.
Okay, and that's done like in front of everyone, just at the table?
Yep, just at the table. And then after we do that, I do go and do mini individual one-on-ones, because again, you might have something you want to talk about a little bit more private.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I like to make sure everybody, when they come to something like this or they get this, I want them to get something out of it, because I've been doing it for so long that I'm over the let's see if you're psychic game.
Yeah.
And I just go more right into I want to make sure you get what you need to get out of this.
100%. So that being said, do you think that there are fakes?
Yes. And I wouldn't say fakes,
okay,
because I believe we all can do this.
Yep.
Right.
It is a harsh word.
It's more of, well, I've gotten readings from people, and it's really been about their life, not mine. Okay. And then I've gotten readings from people where I, like in my guide, screaming at my guide, shut down. And it, and to me that means that you're not completely open as a spiritual person, that you're not giving me what I need out of this. So you might work for someone who's more fake themselves, but you ain't gonna work for me, because I'm more real and authentic with how I feel in my spirituality too. Because that is the one thing that I noticed when I worked in the business aspect of it, when I worked at the Boston Tea Room, was when I first started there, we were considered entertainment.
Okay.
And so it wasn't taken very seriously.
Right.
But then some of the message I'm getting, man, these ladies are walking away crying. I can't just leave them hanging like this. So right then was when I kind of changed my style of reading and where I want to go with it and how I want to help people with it. I don't want to see you keep repeating the same patterns and going into the same problems.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas some of the other readers I've worked with in the past have all been, well, you're gonna fall in here. Let me find a money card. Oh, you're gonna fall into some money, or you got an inheritance, because quite frankly, that's what that card means. Because I've taught it there too, so I know that is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, why not get that card?
Why did I never get that card? Man.
So, you talked a lot about spirit guides, and that's something that just really intrigues me, just personally intrigues me. So could you say anything about ours? Because I know nothing about mine.
Honestly,
I feel like they're trying to get to me.
That's something where I would say, to me, the only way I would be completely 100% sure was when I would do a meditation, and I would go in, and there are certain meditations that you can go in and meet your spirit guides and talk to your inner child and your inner teenager and go to different parts.
Now, is that like a personal meditation that you would do alone, or a guided meditation that you do through someone else?
You could do it either way. When I see clients and I know that they want to try this, I always tell them, just go on YouTube, pick a guided meditation, put on some headphones and listen to it. If it's not clicking with you right away, then go in and pick another one wherever you're guided to do it. Meditation as a group is a very enlightening experience. I definitely recommend.
Yeah, I had my first one for my 28th birthday, because I've been doing like research on like Saturn return and stuff like that. The whole turning 28.
Yeah, the 28 thing.
Yep.
Yes, it's true.
Oh my God, it's been coming up all over the place.
That is crazy.
It's freaking us out for real.
It was the first statistic I started.
Well, my birthday's May 2nd. My husband's Native American, so I've also been digging it. Well, he's half Native American before his dad freaks out. Anyway, sorry. So he's half Native American. His mom's Native American. So once we went to her Indian reservation in Minnesota, I just really was fascinated by all things like Native spirituality-wise, just because I feel like they were like they're pioneers of spirituality almost. Do you know what I mean?
they were authentic.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it just really intrigues me. So I bought a book on like Native American like smudging rituals.
Awesome.
So I happen to have May Day, which is like their celebration of spring.
Right.
And it's May 1st.
Yes.
And then at midnight, my birthday's May 2nd. So I figured at midnight it's my birthday. So I like had all of my friends come over around a fire, and no one was allowed to wear shoes. And I like smudged everyone and gave them a crystal.
Awesome.
And and then I had everyone. So I have a selenite crystal that's like perfectly fits in the palm of everyone's hand. Like it fits in my hands and it fits in Nikki's hands, and look at the difference. Like it just fits perfectly in everyone's hand.
Yeah.
So yes, sisterhood of the traveling self. So I had everyone like hold it and just say something positive about themselves, which was like really hard for everyone. And that's still something that like just really opened my eyes, how hard it is for us to just say something nice about ourselves. Because I could sit here and say 10 wonderful things about either one of you beautiful ladies, you know what I mean? But to sit there and say even a couple of positive things like about myself, it's almost like we worry so much about what other people think. So I think that was really eye-opening for me. But no, that was so cool. So that was the first ever. I had us do like a breath work thing, a guided one that I just played on a speaker, and everyone just laid and stared at the
Great, though.
sky. And my cousin's boyfriend was like, "What did you bring me to?" He still says that. He's like, "No, you got to be nice to me. I'm part of your cult." So, but it was really cool. Not only was it a cool like life-changing, I guess, to sound a little cheesy experience for me, but it was really cool to do that with everyone that I care so much about. I feel like it was really cool. So like Nikki was there, everyone that I cared about was in that circle. So it was really,
That's awesome.
it was really cool.
That's
It was really
good.
cool.
It's good to connect like that. It's good to bring in that energy.
Best birthday ever.
Awesome.
So group meditation, I'm definitely a fan. Sorry for the rant. So do you do palms also?
It's been a long time since I have, but yes. And I started doing those. I taught myself how to read palms when I was like 10 or 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Dang,
that
look at
was-
you.
I know, I did. I'm a Catholic schoolgirl. You have to rebel somehow. And I was always like intrigued with metaphysical, with the cards and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah,
and then
same.
you hear all the superstitions. You can't buy your own set of cards, and they're evil. And go to Catholic school, and that's all even more enforced. So
Right, yeah.
palmistry wasn't there was anything wrong with reading palms.
Everyone's got them.
Everybody has them.
So just like basics, like what do you look for? Like what?
When I
Oh,
read palms,
all right.
Here,
Cool.
I'll read both of them.
Okay.
When I read palms, I read both of them because your energy flows
Here, let me
through.
scoot closer. Maybe.
So, I read palms. This is what you're pulling in. This is what you're giving out. Okay? All right. So, with you definitely think with your emotions more than with your head. Your emotions have a tendency to rule with you. These are your lifelines right here, very strong. There's a lot of determination. You're not going to be one to falter when it comes right down to it. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. There's some things that you do out of commitment versus obligation, so that would be one thing that you might want to tweak here a little bit. Your destiny lines show me that you're following the direction that you want to go in, and you have a lot of satisfaction that's going to come in your into your work area. I'm going to stop and say I've learned from doing this a long time. If we have challenges in our work area, in our work life, and it's good, positive, healthy challenges, you know, we get to use our brains, that kind of thing, we don't have them in our regular, everyday relationships.
Okay.
If we hate work, or work is big negative, and we're not getting challenged that way, all relationships will be challenging. It's a weird phenomena, one of those statistics that I have a tendency to keep in my head, but I've noticed that a lot. Shows me here that you need to work on your time management, meaning be nicer on yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
I can respect that.
And you definitely explore your creativity, so you use your creativeness. You have a couple squares on your hand, so that tells me you have a great capacity for teaching and patience as well.
I dig it.
I used to do a lot longer. They take a lot of energy, and I don't really work on them as much anymore.
No,
but
yeah.
I used to do those with every reading.
I could see that it would take energy.
takes
Just
so
like
much
touching
energy.
in general, I feel gives a lot more energy than we give credit for. It's one of the things that's always fascinated to me. I think about it like when I get my nails done, I'm like, holding hands is so much more intimate than
There's a lot of energy that we're
than people
just
give
through
it
our
credit for.
fingertips.
Like, you know.
And
So
this is what you're bringing in, and this is what you're letting out.
yeah, so that's definitely, it's definitely something that's always intrigued me, is the underratedness of holding hands, I guess. So, but thank you. I mean, that was unexpected. So you say that they're the same thing, so like a psychic medium.
To me, they are. To
Okay.
me, I'm just tapping into my guides. Whatever title needs to be put on it for that particular moment works there.
Do you think there's a difference between spirits and ghosts? Or is it the same?
If I had to put anything on it, I guess a spirit to me would be something more that's positive, and I guess I would have associated ghost with something more negative.
Okay. Maybe it's like ghosts are like holding on to something versus a spirit just being, I guess. I don't know. That's how I would process it in my
Maybe even
head.
their life personality.
I'm sure that you've experienced a rainbow of things during your readings. Is there like any particular story that stands out that you'd like to share? As vague as you'd like.
Well, there was this one particular house cleansing I did where I honestly can't. Oh, I remember why she pulled me out was because her TV kept turning on and being on like the Fuzz channel at 3 a.m.
Oh my God.
Like, that's not cool. And so I went over there and you guys know where Telegraph and West is, you know that?
Yeah.
that-
Yeah.
Nick
the
Brick's right over
Pickwick-
my husband.
What is it? What is that little townhouses?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Okay. So, and I didn't grow up there, but my ex-husband did. So I already knew stories of like what went down in those woods. That there used to be somebody that lived in the woods, just a vagrant. And I've seen him when I was a teenager, and this was a long time ago. All right.
Yeah.
So that's who I was kind of feeling like it was, and I honestly don't remember if that's who it was or not, but that's who I was feeling like it was. And we were walking along the back, like she lived right at the back edge of this little complex, and we come back in, I'm like, I'm hearing this water run. And I'm not sure where it came from, but her window was raining on the inside. Like water was just rushing down.
Oh my God.
And it was the weirdest thing too, because our kid was upstairs playing with water, but in the bedroom where it would have, it was totally dry, and there was a bed in the way. So how it happened, it had to be supernatural,
Yeah.
because I don't have any other scientific explanation. Because I am the biggest skeptic too.
Okay, that was one of the
Okay.
things that I wanted to ask you. So, being, like a medium and dealing with a lot of spirits and stuff like that, like, do you believe in magic?
Oh, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
all in intent.
Okay.
It's all in your intent and your belief. Santa is magic.
I agree with that. 100%.
So when you do you feel stuff like just walking in someone's house, or like do you feel all kinds of different energy when you are around someone?
I've honestly learned to turn mine down to where I can use it when I need to, or when it's important, for
Okay.
my own spirit guides. If I'm driving down the street and I gotta sit extra long at that stoplight for a minute and somebody rolls by, I know why, kind of thing.
Okay.
When I'm in Meyer, I have a tendency to like turn everybody out. I'm the only person there. I know that sounds rude.
no.
No. That's
Honestly, I think it'd be peaceful.
Yeah, I kind of have a tendency, if I hit your buggy, I didn't see you. I think I learned when I was young the energy was really overwhelming, so like turning it off was the first thing I learned how to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can kind of sense that. Like, if you don't mind me asking, how did you feel when you walked in my house?
Really good.
Yeah?
Really good, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That makes me happy.
Well, I grew up around here, so I
Okay.
know certain areas of Lincoln Park have certain kind of energies, and this is a good part.
Oh, good.
There's not
That's
a lot
good.
of negative energy. Now we get over closer to other areas of Lincoln Park.
Feel a little that away.
Different energy. Like even the streets look different to me, or houses look different to me. Like
Yeah.
the light or dark brightness around them. Your street, your energy around here feels bright. I go into other certain neighborhoods and I instantly kind of feel like it's a darker neighborhood.
Wow.
How do you feel about Ouija boards?
Scared to death of them.
See, they kind of freak me out too.
Yeah.
Nick always buys different ones, and he's like, "Oh, here, I bought a Ouija board." I'm like, "Cool, we ain't using it."
Now, do you think that it could really pull?
Oh, I know it can.
Okay.
Because
okay.
I played with it when I was young.
Okay.
And I was very skeptical then, and when that thing moved all by itself and I was the only one touching it, it freaked me out, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the energy that it brought. Later research, because I don't like pendulums either. They're fun to play with, but I don't trust them. They're bringing in a low vibration of energy. They're coming from a bottom. No, that's how I feel about... They're coming from a bottom source. Everything I bring in is from a top source, so I don't... Like the pendulum, it'll basically tell you whatever you want it to tell you. Okay. I believe it anyways. They're fun to play with, though.
Yeah, Nick's got these, like... I have them stop moving now because, again, the mics will pick up literally everything, but, like, they're the ones that just keep going forever.
Oh, no.
And for some reason, they just creep me out.
Yeah, no.
I just don't like it. I don't like... Because, you know how you can hear something all day, but you only tune into it every so often. But, like, every time I tune into it, it, like, makes my heart drop, and I don't like that.
No, I don't.
I don't like stuff.
It scared me when I was young. And I had one of those episodes where felt like I was being pulled between the wall and the bed, and I couldn't move. And
oh my god!
Yeah, it was traumatic. So I did have to learn how to turn all of this off really quick, or I was gonna lose it.
Yeah, because I feel like you sit here so comfortable with your past experiences with different supernatural or just I don't know, natural, supernatural, whichever you want to call it, experiences. I feel like you just sit here so calm about it, like
learn to laugh.
It's cool though.
Laugh about it.
It's definitely cool. One of the things that I wanted to ask you about was your thoughts on Miss Cleo. Do you remember Miss Cleo from back in the day? I figured it was a nice, like, lighten the mood type of question.
You know, I was a teenager when she came out, and I just remember, like, the bad stigma that came along with it. And I remember thinking, well, some of it's got to be real. What I can do and what I know and my dreams and stuff.
Okay, so you feel like she might have something?
Well, I believe we all did, but I think she exploited it.
So it was like maybe like the first type of reality TV. Where it's like, you know, real life events, but you're embellishing on it.
Well, I think she definitely gave me a hard road to go down.
Yeah, that's, like, for sure, like, I think psychics in general have that stigma, like how you had said, when you sit down with someone, like, you're just over the whole, like, they're going to feel you out and see.
Yeah, I'm past all of that. And that used to, a long time ago, that used to be, like, a barrier I'd have to overcome to be able to tell you your messages, and now I'm just like, whatever.
Right.
So skeptics, come on.
Right, it's like, it's the same question, so, like, does that make sense? But you're, like, saying it matter-of-factly versus actually asking them like you probably were in the beginning, like, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and then I've learned, too, that...
Now you're like, no, it does make sense, so I'm going to tell you.
It does, and sometimes it's in your wording and how, like, we all have a perspective or we all have an interpretation, so sometimes the message I'm getting to tell you, maybe I didn't use the right words and you didn't get it the way it was intended, so I'll reword it. And then I'll be honest with you, I've learned a confidence level, and if there's a continual of no, then honestly that person's in straight denial, and they're not open to it anyway.
Yeah, for sure. What I feel like I struggle with, because now I've been through 2 separate readings, I feel like it takes me a while to open up. So, but that's a me thing. I feel like
one of the reasons why I use cards still, because I don't really feel like I need them. But it helps me keep focused. But it also gives you something to do and something for you to kind of put your attention on for
distraction,
a minute.
kind of. Yeah. So you do more of like energy reading versus card reading? Is that?
That's a way to describe it. It's energy. Sometimes I just know stuff. Sometimes I hear stuff. Sometimes something might sparkle at me, which will give it my attention, and that will make me say something.
Like my blue ceiling.
My daughter just painted her room this color,
actually. Well, I think this is very cool. So I want you to kind of shout out your stuff. Okay. So where can we find you? Where can we get in contact with you?
Easiest way for me right now is through Facebook.
Okay.
Sue Krinke at Facebook, however. They
Okay.
do that.
And that's Suekrinke?
Yes.
All right.
Good
And
job.
then it should pop up. So it's Krinke with an E. Well, we got Nikki with an IE, so that's a hard one to make sure that we communicate. So I've gotten better at spelling. Much better than I was when I was a child, thank God. Still can't talk, but I try to spell. So we can get in touch with you on Facebook. What type of things can people book you for? So
The group spirit sessions.
yes.
That's for
Sounds
groups
so cool.
of at least 6 or more.
Okay.
And like I said, that includes the group and individual.
All right.
Or you can have a psychic party that's just individual readings.
Okay.
I'd like to add I don't use a timer too. I don't know if you
Yeah, that
guys
was
noticed
cool.
that.
Yep.
That
There was
the
no
first
timer.
thing. That was the first thing I got rid of.
Yeah.
My spirit has no time. I can't have no curtain or some buzzer go off and I'm in the middle. It just doesn't work.
No, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And my guides work with me too. So group party readings, readings last anywhere from 15 to maybe half hour. In my home, readings last anywhere from half hour to an hour, depending on what the individual needs.
Okay. So in your home, they go a little bit longer. Is that because you're like saying like your home base, like your charging station?
Kind of maybe. Yeah,
Okay.
and I got this great big couch that feels like a giant teddy bear, so we just all get comfortable on it. And there, it's usually just me and the client,
Yeah.
one-on-one, and we talk about whatever you need to talk about. And it's weird. They usually don't last any more than an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people have everything they need in 25 minutes. Sometimes they need the hour. It just really depends on what's going on. And then a question I get a lot is, how often should you get a reading?
Oh,
And
yeah,
with my style, the way I kind of feel it is I kind of take them on as counseling sessions. So if you have something that's tripping you up and you need some little bit of clarity, or you need to get some validation, because I find that that's a tendency I have a lot, is to validate what's in your head,
Mm-hmm.
then that would be when you would want to see. There's no time limit on how long you should go.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Because I definitely feel like it kind of cleanses you in a way.
Good.
Like you like get it off your chest.
Good.
Mhm.
Absolutely. That's
That
what
little-
I hope for too. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I got some good juju in this room.
Awesome.
All right, so she does group sessions and individual sessions. You can get in contact with her on Facebook. That is Sue Krinke at facebook.com. So definitely search her up, check her out. She does a multitude of different things. You even do like flea markets and stuff, right?
Yeah, I set my booth up once in a while. Actually, Southgate is doing a market in the park. You guys heard of that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll actually be there tomorrow.
Oh, wow, okay.
And now when I set up there, they're very short. And
Okay,
it's
yeah.
loud. And so it's like half price there, but it's still the same thing. I don't use a timer. I have a bunch of art for sale too.
Yeah, I saw that. You do like individual, zodiac paintings?
I just finished my collection is complete. Yeah, so I looked up everybody's constellation, and like the pretty clouds or whatever colors are around represent like the element that your sign is.
Yeah, those are super awesome. That's one of the things. Can I backtrack for a second? I really wanted to talk to you about your thoughts on astrology, and do you focus on that at all, like with the different signs and what that trait could carry or anything?
I
like
know a little bit. Astrology is so vast, and
Yeah.
I try to teach myself. I did teach myself an aspect of it. So for a little while, I don't think I could do them anymore because it takes so much energy and time to do. But I could interpret your birth chart as to like basically why you're here.
Oh wow.
Like, kind
See, and
of-
I love
kind
that.
of a karmic aspect or karmic
Yeah.
lessons was how I taught myself. But there's future astrology and there's past life astrology.
Right.
There's so many aspects of it. When I read some of my decks, not particularly this one, some of my decks have some of the astrology signs on it.
Yeah.
That, I'll pull some of that energy. If I happen to notice it in the card, I might pull some of that into it. As far as a birth chart, getting a birth chart done, you can find a place online called
Technology.
astrolab.com. I'll have to look it up exactly.
I'm
but
pretty
it'll
sure
give
that
you
it
a
is
free one.
astromap.com because I think I have been checking it out. And I asked my mom, I was like, what time was I born? Was I born in AM or PM? She's like, I don't know. Like, why does it matter? And I was like, it matters.
It matters.
But we ended up finding it. I was born in the morning, 10:30. So that's why I want to sleep till then all the time. I blame that.
I was an afternoon baby. That's not
I am not a morning person. I was not born until 10:30. Don't expect me to get up before then. All right. So I did want to just touch base with you on that. But there's so much memorization with that. Like, that's why, like, I want to teach myself too, but then it's like you get lost in the definitions and stuff.
It's very mathy.
I feel like, yeah, very mathy.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn.
Very
a
mathy.
lot.
I feel much more comfortable, like I would assume you do, in the more spirituality realm of it, and like just what I feel, I guess.
I would say it's probably more accurate. Like as far as details of it'll give you dates. I'm more like, well, it depends on how long it takes you to learn this before this will happen, or depends on how long it takes you to screw that up.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, for sure. All right, well, this was amazing. This was like, I don't know, I'm really excited right now.
I'm glad you guys had me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yes,
being
thank
here.
you.
It's at Sue Krinke at Facebook.com. Reach out to her. She does individual and personal readings. She does flea markets, so I'm sure that she posts that on her page too. So just like follow that, follow along with her. Thank you for joining us today. I'm
Yes,
super pumped. I
thank you
feel
so
great.
much.
I feel like I just like took a spiritual shower. So I feel really great and refreshed right now. Yep. So we can't thank you enough. As always, your love and support means the world to us. Have a great day, guys, and we'll see you next week.